and is one of the strongest tools and perhaps one of the strongest ways to success. Visualization is a concept that I'm sure a lot of you already apply to your own life, but so many other people don't know what it is. In this episode, I want to explain to you or perhaps discuss with you what visualization is, why it's extremely important, and how you could apply it right now, right here. Let's discuss. This is the Inspire Podcast, the place for all the change makers in this world. Keep an eye out to hear all the stories, the experiences, and the life lessons that could impact your life forever. You'll be hearing from me and from young entrepreneurs as well as leaders about what inspired them to inspire others and how they defy the status quo in their own style. Hussein speaking here, and I want to thank you for taking the time to listen to this episode. I promise it'll be worth the while. But without further ado, it's another day, another topic, another lesson. Let's begin. When we start talking about visualization or a concept of such, we need to start by defining it. We need to set the ground so that we're all on the same page and we're all in the same understanding of what exactly we're trying to talk about. Visualization, in very simple terms, it's the capability and the ability to be able to sit down and immerse yourself in a full experience of something that is yet to happen with you, that is something that you've always been dreaming of, or something you've been wishing for so long. And visualization is the medium, or perhaps the tool for you to travel from one point to the other without you moving from bed or without you moving from your couch. It's essentially a free medium of transportation that helps us imagine a reality that in many cases is bigger than ourselves. At the core of what visualization is really being able to live a fully immersed experience, but all in your head. Now, to those that are aware of it and that practice it almost on a daily basis or every other day, I'm sure you know exactly what I'm trying to talk about. For those that are not aware of it or perhaps have never heard of it, I know it sounds a little bit crazy and perhaps redundant in many ways, but hang on, let me explain. To get from point A to point B in life, many of us, including myself, we always try to branch out, to talk to friends and family, to get assurance and justifications and validations from them and their opinions. But the question that I want to ask you, what if you have an idea, an opinion, a vision, something you've never shared with a friend or with a family member, something you've always been keeping for yourself. And you know for a fact that if you were to reach out to such people, to certain people, you're not going to get their support you expected. So what do you do in that situation? If no one is going to support you, then the least you could do is support yourself. The least you could do is look yourself in the mirror and tell yourself, you know what, I want to go from point A to point B, and there's nothing on this earth that's going to stop me, because I'm very confident of it and I know exactly how to get there. Now, the second part of what I just said is the problem. I know exactly how to get there. So many of us set goals and set objectives on a daily basis, but how many of you imagine them? How many of you close your eyes and see the outcome and see where you want to be? So many people think this is such an overrated concept, the visualization one. But I want to assure you that this is one of the most important concepts that you're missing out. Now, before we talk about how to immerse yourself in the experience, let's talk about what kind of situations do you need to be moving from point A to point B. What are the categories, what are the scenarios that you could use and you could take to your advantage so that you can sit down and have a fully immersed experience of visualization? Well, category number one, it could be very much physical. It could be something physical where in the sense that you want to improve your body, you want to improve your physical look. You want to become more fit, you want to go to the gym a little bit more. These are the physical goals that you've always had. But it could also be something about healing, something you've wanted to cure. Category number two, it's really personal problems. How many of you have a friend that you haven't spoken to in a while? Have you ever imagined a time where you can sit down, close your eyes, and imagine yourself talking to them? Category number three, accomplishing a goal. This is one of the most common ones, and I'm sure a lot of you imagine this category a lot. What you do in this case is this is when you start imagining a goal that's bigger than yourself. It's a reality that's way bigger than yourself, but career focused. So for me, for example, I tend to focus so much about public speaking. I try my best to immerse myself in experiences almost on a daily basis, where I see myself standing on stage speaking to people, so that I can pick myself up and move myself step by step from A to B now that we've spoken about the different categories, and I hope you fall under any of those categories, and by the way, you could fall into all 3 categories at the exact same time. So let me share with you the techniques or tools for you to sit down and actually start the process of visualization that can help you move from point A to point B. So for this to happen, I need you to please play along with exactly what I'm going to say. So I need you to fully immerse yourself with me right now, and just please close your eyes. Now that you've closed your eyes, I want you to decide on something you've wanted to essentially heal or recover from, or something you wanted to resolve. Any of the categories I spoke about: personal, physical, or accomplishing a goal. So choose something. Now that you've chosen something, and I've chosen something as well, I want you to clarify it in your head and make sure you know exactly what you're trying to get to. So let me give you an example. In this very second, my eyes closed, and I'm imagining myself approaching the podium. And as I stand, I see thousands of people. I see so many people listening and just waiting for me to speak about a certain topic. And now that I've clarified it in my head, I need you to move to the next step. Now, I want you to feel comfortable, but more importantly, I want you to live the experience from A to Z fully immersed. So what am I trying to say? In my head right now, I see thousands of people, as I said, but I also see the person sitting in the front row that's nodding because he's listening. I also see the person sitting in the corner that's taking notes. I can feel the breeze of wind from the back. I can see the team standing to the right. I can see the team behind the camera. I can see people talking amongst themselves. I can see someone on their phone. I can also feel my heartbeat. I can feel everything around me as if I live in that experience. So while you're doing the same, what is it that you're trying to achieve? What is it that you're trying to live? What goal are you trying to get over? Who are you trying to fix your problems with? And I want you to imagine the whole process. But the most important part, imagine what happens after. Imagine how you feel after the accomplishment. Imagine how you feel after leaving that stage and getting down from the stage, having said, "Thank you for listening to me." What do you feel then? You need to immerse yourself in these things. And I'll tell you the reason why. Your brain and your mind know no difference between a fully immersed experience in your head and a real life experience out there in reality. So what you should do, really, think it and the rest will follow. Now, if you immerse yourself with this experience, so open up your eyes and attend to this again. One of the biggest problems with visualization is that so many people think it's just about thinking. So many people think it's all about closing your eyes and just thinking about that reality, thinking about the reality that you've always wanted. If that's the understanding that you have, it's incomplete. It's not wrong. It's not wrong. It's incomplete. The reason it's incomplete is that you don't only think it. You think it, you see it, you feel it, but most importantly, you believe it. You need to truly believe that this is exactly what you want. You need to truly believe inside out that that's the goal you wanted for so long, but there's nothing on earth that's going to stop you. And what you're trying to do is that you're trying to show your mind that whatever it is I'm seeing, this is reality. So what your body does, or essentially what your mind does, it sees that reality, and then all it does is that it understands that now you're a changed man. Now you're a changed person. You've imagined yourself in front of thousands of people. So whenever you're standing up to speak, it's not a different experience. You've done it before so many times. So when you stand up at the end of the year in front of people, in front of 500 people or 1,000 people, it's just another day. The reason this is very significant is because whenever you start practicing visualization, whenever you start practicing seeing this different reality, it's part of your body analyzing itself and creating a risk management plan, let's call it. But why is that? So going back in time, when I was at university and when I was applying to go on the TED stage, a few years before that, I never really thought that that could actually be an opportunity for me. So when I applied, I kind of like put everything I have and I applied to it. And then long story short, when I got accepted, this is when I truly appreciated the power of visualization, because even though I did 20,000 rehearsals, the amount of visualizations that I did definitely exceeded that. I would visualize myself talking before I sleep, after I wake up. I'd visualize myself doing it in the shower. I'd visualize myself practicing my TED Talk almost everywhere, because I knew for a fact that whatever it is that I'm rehearsing and whatever it is that I'm practicing, it's very different than when standing on stage and you have people in front of you and cameras as well. That's when the panic really hits in, and you need to know how to deal with it. So what do? You visualize yourself in the worst panic attack. You visualize yourself in the worst case scenario, and you visualize yourself in the best case scenario. In the worst case scenario, you're getting your body ready. If anything was to happen, you're going to handle it. But if nothing was to happen, you're going to really rock it. So for me, luckily enough, something happened. I went on stage, and as I was talking, long story short, the presentation broke. So essentially the clicker was clicking faster than my speech. Had I not visualized and had I not prepared mentally, I truly believe that I would have probably given up at that second then and there. I would have dropped it. But what did I do? I thought things through. And I was like, you know what? I know this is a crisis. I know this is a problem, but I've prepared for this. This is nothing new. I've prepared for the worst case scenario. Let me improvise and make sure no one realizes. And that's exactly what happened. To wrap it up at the end, I want you to understand that I don't expect you to close this podcast and be the master of visualization. Neither do I expect you to close this podcast and just start closing your eyes and imagining a reality that's bigger than yourself. I don't. If you're used to it, congratulations, that's great. If not, I want you to take it step by step. I want you to start by imagining little tiny things. Start by waking up every morning and imagining yourself walking around the flat. Start getting your mind used to imagining things that are not real. Imagine yourself very famous. Imagine yourself doing a lot of things that you've always wanted to do. But imagine the simple things. Traveling, reading a book, or eating something fascinating, or being on a private jet, etc. And the moment you start living such tiny moments, you will understand the impact of it. And you will understand how it's going to start to change your life step by step, second by second. So tomorrow morning, please promise me and promise yourself that you're going to wake up and you're going to imagine a positive day. You're going to imagine a day where you have extremely positive comments. You're going to have fantastic conversations with your friends and family, and you're going to work on your dreams and goals. And above all, you're going to visualize something bigger than yourself. But most importantly, you're going to believe in it and you're going to start working on it. And the moment you grasp that idea, then there you go. You can now close your eyes and imagine yourself literally reaching out for the stars. Because for the first time ever in our lives, we are given the free medium, the most accessible tool to do so. So take advantage of it. I want to thank you so much for listening to this episode, guys. It's really a pleasure. If you've liked it, please share and like. If you do have any comments, negative or positive, it's all very welcome. I really look forward to listening to it and hearing it. If you do visualize and if it's something you want to share, please do share it with me. Share your experiences. I would love to hear it and I would love to help you share it with the world. And as usual, I look forward to talking to you in the next episode with another story, another topic, another experience. I'll see you soon.